Within the range of things that cover the area of the paranormal, these are not only restricted to spirits or strange creatures. The UFO topic is also a very interesting section within which has no explanation. That is, any manifestation that occurs in the skies and that we cannot understand. This motivated me to search and find among the hundreds of videos that reached my email the most shocking footage captured in the sky, records that you have never seen, and that will surely leave you thinking tonight. So stay put, because my name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present the most terrifying phenomena caught in the sky. Number 5. It is strange, but I am sure that in more than one occasion we all have fixed our eyes on the sky, and not only to contemplate the stars, but also to see the possibility of capturing something unknown. It is like this that sometimes people manage to see lights, sounds, or strange things that we are not used to seeing. This is exactly what happened to a man somewhere in Mexico. It was after 11 p.m. when a man looking for a place to park was puzzled when he saw two policemen who could not stop looking up at the sky. Amazement increased even more when he observed how people were pointing with their fingers in the same direction. The man, knowing that something strange was happening, he took out his camera to have a record of it. When looking up and finally seeing what everyone was watching, his only reaction almost paralyzed his heart. Observe. Undoubtedly, no one can be indifferent to this. So then, how can you understand this phenomenon? Put yourself in this man's shoes and comment below what you would have done. It was a sort of bright light that, without explanation, remained static in the sky. Light reflections that seemed to blink for a few moments, appearing and disappearing randomly. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not a natural phenomenon. Something like this has not happened anywhere else in the world. If you think this is a montage, you're wrong. The event was published in all the media along with recordings of other witnesses who also saw what happened. Some speak of many satellites from a company whose panels reflect light. Do you think these are reflections? Number 4. What comes to mind when you hear the word UFO? Undoubtedly, the first image that we put in our mind are circular ships or lights of extraterrestrial origin. However, this word embraces much more than that, and this is a clear example of what you are about to see. The video you are seeing on screen was sent by the same person who recorded it, a man who lives in California. And that one afternoon, when he was away from home, he witnessed something that, according to him, was simply divine. That was the only explanation that he could give it.
Please, my Father God. Mom, es un hombre. Es un hombre.
The man in Spanish exclaims to his mother that it's a man. What you see there is a man. At first glance, simply impressive. A human-shaped figure moves and descends from the sky to lose himself behind the roof of a house. A record so shocking that our subscriber, as a good man of faith, did not hesitate to see the image of Jesus Christ in this figure. However, regardless of this appraisal, could the image captured by the camera really be a person? I will add light effects so that you can tell me if you can see something else. The man tells us directly in the email that he lives near the airport. Therefore, the flights of hot air balloons, drones, or unmanned aircrafts are not allowed, which is why this record remains a mystery. Number 3. What lies in this position corresponds to a record that caused a stir a few years ago in southern Chile. It all happened when some young people who found a new camera on the balcony of a building saw how suddenly a star began to move on its own. A situation that caught their attention so much that they did not hesitate to immediately direct the focus of the camera to find out what it was really about. The more they zoomed, the more the shape was noticed, and the confusion of these boys grew. In that country, the video you are about to watch has recently become one of the most surprising UFO sightings of all time. Pay attention.
Pero bueno, esta weá
brilla mucho, pues.
Sí, como...
Y siento que...
¡Oh!
¡No! ¡Oh! Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo.
Está grabando.
¿Qué es eso, weón? No.
Sí. ¡Oh! ¡Oh! Es como... Mira su...
No.
Mira su forma. ¿La veí?
Sí, weón.
Tiene como diseños. Mira.
Se va, weón.
Tiene diseños.
No, aléjate, aléjate. No, se está moviendo. Se está moviendo. Vaya,
Se movió.
Se está moviendo. Aléjate, aléjate.
Lo perdimos.
Acércate, acércate.
No.
Acércate. Acércate, acércate.
Loco, esto ¡Esto es un ovni! ¡Esto es un ovni!
Despite the difficulty they had in focusing, it is possible to distinguish its shape. It was geometric. It even seemed to change its shape subtly. However, the most spectacular thing is that it was not as far away as a star. That light was in our atmosphere. Have you seen something like that at night? Do you know what it is? Leave your comments below. Number 2. As we all know, the new disease of 2020 has been invading every aspect of our lives lately, and one of the most notorious has been the alleged creepy events that are ensured are starting to happen everywhere. Dozens of emails have been sent to me assuring that in the midst of a pandemic, horrifying objects have been observed. An example of that is given by this image, where supposedly in Ireland, a gigantic structure with enormous bright eyes can be seen, which stood out mysteriously in a storm. I would like to use the previous video as an example along with another one sent by a follower from Italy. You see, both videos have one thing in common, and that is that the hysteria about the whole situation we are experiencing can cause some confusion among people. From London, the United Kingdom, a story came to me that seemed extremely interesting. Our follower told us that apparently the 2020 pandemic is much more than biological. He gathered the evidence to support the theory that in the next few months something worse would happen, because everywhere they are starting to notice things like this. According to him, this video corresponds to a place in the Middle East where a locust plague is beginning to darken the sky. He says that similar things have also been seen in the United Kingdom, the evidence of which you are seeing on screen. According to him, we are in the midst of an apocalypse. However, looking for information about it, I found out that the locust record is old. They have nothing to do with the current crisis. While the image corresponds to a flock of birds, an image that was edited of a phenomenon called murmuration. All of this leaves us as a conclusion that despite the times, it is not recommendable to believe at first sight everything that comes before our eyes. We already have enough to deal with than to be consumed even more by the fear. Number 1. The first position is reserved this time for a video that has been the subject of debate on social networks. Like what we mentioned in the previous post, in social networks they assure that this clip was uploaded for the first time in February of this year, and they relate it closely to the pandemic. It was the sunset of any given day, and a man sees in the distance a few small points that moved on the horizon, moved in such a particular way that everyone began to comment on the subject, thinking they were seagulls, pelicans, or some other species of bird. However, as all the witnesses get closer, they were frozen when they noticed something completely impossible. Everyone was stunned to see something like horses crossing the sky passing directly over their heads. And it is that the recording is truly incredible, since as you can see, as they advance, they emit a kind of lightning that come out of those creatures. A footage so spectacular that it was immediately embraced by Christian believers, assuring that it is an announcement of the end of times. Remember, before taking any judgment, that things that are so incredible to be true generally are not. That is, they are montages. That is at least what I believe. There is no video from another perspective taken by any other witness. However, no one has officially denied it yet. Witnesses are heard, but where are the other videos? An event like this would provoke a massive rise of uploads from different perspectives of exactly the same situation. Do you think it is just a trick? Or do you think that what appears in the sky justifies the reaction of all these people? You can leave your opinions in the comment box because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonor Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.